Hi friends, this is Airbrush aka Amazing the Artist. You can Facebook me at Steve Airbrush Harris. Today we will be going over advanced stenciling techniques. So let's begin. Alright, right here I have a circle. We're going to use this as a spray-in stencil, meaning that we're going to cut out the line and spray inside of it to create the shape. So the main rule is leave a gap. You just leave one gap right here, and what you do with one side you must do to your other. Because if you don't leave any gap, of course just the circle's going to fall through and you're just going to have this big void area and you won't create the shape. But now I'm about to demonstrate how to cut out the circle and at the same time keeping good structure. So what you want to do is leave one gap right here, and what you do on one side you must do to your other with a stencil. So if you leave a gap right here, you must leave a gap on the opposite side. And when it comes to stenciling, you must always have a good structure, because you want your stencils to last a long time. You don't want to waste your time doing these and it lasts only a couple days. Then you have to do another one. So make sure you do it right the first time. And as you see here, it's pretty simple what I'm doing here. I mean, this is just a little training exercise just to get the hang of creating your own stencils. And what it makes is this a C and a backward C. And another thing, if I was spraying this on a shirt and making this circle out of a stencil, after I spray it, it'll be this white, line just going through the whole stencil. What you want to do is get your French curve and line it up and spray it, and fill it in. Simple as that, and it'll create a perfect circle. Now, what I have here is a little kitty stencil I cut out. As you see here, right here I left a gap because you want to keep good structure. And I did the same thing at its opposite. I left a gap right here. And if you notice, at the nose, I have done the same thing. I left a gap, and I left a gap at its bottom because it keeps good structure. Same thing with the bow. The ear, I kept a gap right here. And this is pretty much it's a little more advanced than the circle, but it's still the same basic. Now, this is a Spider-Man stencil I actually designed myself. To design your own stencil, what you pretty much do is get an 8 by 11 sheet of paper. I recommend an 8 by 11 sheet of paper because when you're doing shirts, I wouldn't go anything much bigger than that, because you want a one size fit all. And I kept to that same technique for good structure, and I left gaps in right here, and the opposite side I left gaps. But what I did was, I cut out the stencil with my X-Acto knife, and I used the tear resistant method. But I used it with packaging tape as well, like this. Packaging tape works well, but duct tape works better. So I still recommend duct tape, okay? Okay, what I have here is Easy Tack adhesive. This is made by Krylon. You can get this at any art store as well. I believe Walmart might sell it at the craft section. Said you'll want to use heavy duty adhesive when it comes to t-shirts. Just use repositionable adhesive like this, because it's a lot easier to take it off the shirt then. Okay, so what I'm about to do here is spray from 12 inches and just horizontally up and down, to get some more in there, but at the same time you don't want too much. So let's do that. So that's pretty much it. So this is actually easier, and don't get your fingers dirty, and it'll bend up your stencil. Take care of your stencil will take care of you. What I have here, guys, is my French curve, because I'm going to use this to actually make sure the stencil is placed flatly on the shirt. And I'm going to just follow my French curve and airbrush at the same time. Make sure the image is placed down. Make sure you just, you know, glide with your French curve. And another thing, you don't want to have your gun too far in, because what that does, the air, when it hits the shirt, it'll blow out in every direction, and that could cause your stencil to lift up off the shirt as well. So make sure you have it at least 5 inches away from the shirt. And you can just lightly mist it and follow the lines and just lightly mist. You don't have to throw on heavy paint here. Alright, let's see how it looks. A trick to get these stencils off, I call it spirit fingers. You just, like, you know, go under it. See? That's the basic outline, as you see here. Alright, so the color I have in here right now is actually an orange. I know I should start with red, but orange acts as a good background color for your red. Remember, when it comes to airbrushing, you start light to dark. The only thing when it comes to stenciling with airbrushing, you start dark, light, and dark again. Okay? The first dark is when you, of course, when you put the main outline down. Alright, make sure you let that dry. If you have a blow dryer, you could easily dry it off like that, because you'll want to keep layering on paint without the first layer drying. I have the red in my airbrush right now, and I'm actually going to put a sun behind them, so that means the light source is going to be at this angle. It's going to be coming from the right to the left. So the left to the right is where the shadow is going to be. So I'm going to have the red fading off into the orange. Alright, see here? Well, you won't be able to see it much right now, but after I'm done, you're definitely going to see it. But it's like this orange just hitting, you know, very lightly at this angle. It's going to look real hot after it's done. It's going to come out real nice. It makes a really cool effect. So what I have in here now is the blue. Alright, so let's do that. Okay, what I have here is actually just a circle that I cut out. I just completely cut a circle out using one of my plates I have in the kitchen. And this effect is called the big illusion, because if I would just done this Spider-Man on a kid's shirt, it would look fine because it would take up most of the shirt. But you want this design to take up a lot of the shirt, because you just don't want this void. What I'm about to do now is actually put this design like this around Spider-Man, and then spray a sunset behind him. And when I take the circle off, you're going to see this nice circular effect, but at the same time it's taking up more space of the shirt. Remember, we started from an 8x11 piece of paper, and from that we're going to have all this space taken up just by adding simple techniques. So I got my spray adhesive here. Remember I said about 12 inches, and it's not even that bad of a mess. something like that. And now what I'm going to do is line them up. Remember, when it comes to airbrushing, it's light to dark. So I'm starting with yellow first. I have this can, the spray can. You can use any type of circular shape to do this. I'm going to put this actually behind Spider-Man, and I'm going to spray the yellow around it, and that's going to create a nice sun effect to make it look like it's a sun behind him. And just fade that yellow up. That's pretty much it. Now, I have to fade that yellow up from behind these buildings as well. Alright. Now, what I'm about to do is add a little bit of yellow in his eye, just at this angle. Just a little bit of yellow. Just a little bit. Okay, now I have the orange, and if you look at sunset, it's usually the yellow fading to the orange. So have a little thin line of orange behind him, like so. Make sure you don't want to get it on his eye. His eye is white. I mean, you could deck out your cartoon characters, your designs, any way you want to, but this is how I usually like my design. And now what I'm doing is I'm going to line that up, that circle right back up where the sun should be, and just a gentle mist of orange around it. Now you can see the sun pop out a little bit more, so that's a cool, effect. Now I have is actually a fluorescent purple. Make sure you try to fade off gently into that orange. And around here. One reason why I got it around here, because the sunlight is actually, you see here, is actually rounds. The light actually fades off into like a round shape. So have that light fade off like that. So behind Spider-Man, blending that with that purple. Just add some blue. Water effect is pretty much just dagger strokes. They're dagger strokes. Just like how I showed you in the first episode. Now I have the black back in my airbrush, and I'm about to just add some shadows on this side of the image. Start with the leg, put a shadow right here. Shadow on that side. Shadow right there. Shadow this out. Make sure the shadow fades nicely too. See there? Now what I'm about to do is actually add some birds behind them. So just two little V's, two little teeny tiny dagger strokes, and it's going to be a V. I'm going to do two of those. Now I have a random piece of torn paper and I'm going to make a metallic effect in Spider-Man's eye with it. Now, let's zoom in. Now what I'm doing is pretty much going over all the black lines to bring it out more. I'm also closing in those gaps. What I'm going to do is add a hint of white on this angle, and then I'm going to put yellow over it, and it's going to make a really cool effect. Alright, now the yellow. If you see here, I'm making the yellow inside the water too, because it brings out that that reflection effect. Okay, his web is just going to be dagger strokes, and I'm going to add a couple of circles around it. And we're going to add a little drop shadow behind this to make a cool effect. And don't forget about this Heath Ledger Joker. Pretty much you can win this Heath Ledger Joker for free. You just got to leave a video response telling me what you want to learn from this class and why. And also, if you have a Facebook, add me on Facebook, Steve Airbrush Harris. Alright, and I'll see you tomorrow.